Hello and welcome to N-TECH-KNO with Lissa and Cisco Security. Hi, John.
Good afternoon, Lissa, at least for me. How are you?
I'm so good. Thanks for joining me. So today I have my friend John Heineman. He is a security specialist with the Cisco team. John, will you tell us a little bit about why you're qualified to talk to me today?
Yeah, sure. I am a Cisco kind of veteran, been here about 7 years. I am passionate about cybersecurity. I love learning about it. What are the new threats? What's coming? What have we seen? More importantly, I care about the posture of everyone I speak to as well. You can ask my wife this as well, as far as, hey, you got to update your iPhone. There was that big vulnerability that happened last week. That was our big thing. I kind of blocked her from a couple applications as well, but I'm definitely a cybersecurity nerd. Love it. Public sector, and now working in the commercial space, just always been a passion of mine.
Well, you are in a very relevant space nowadays, and we are so happy to have you. So I was wondering, how do you see companies keeping up with compliance and regulations now?
That's one of the biggest drivers that we see kind of externally with our customers now when it comes to compliance regulations. If you want to keep having business with these customers of yours, you need to make sure to be at the cutting edge of the cybersecurity because we're not just protecting our information, but we're really tasked with protecting the information of our customers too. So for instance, if you're working with a DoD type entity, there's a lot of specific regulations that you need to keep up with. And we love working within those because a lot of times our products are ahead of the curve. You know, this new CMMC compliance, our products are ready, willing, able to meet that regulation itself. And it's because of the work that we have to really stay ahead of that curve. So it's not even a what do I need to do to be compliant now? The question more becomes what can I do to remain compliant when the next regulation comes out? How am I protecting my full stack across the board, on network, off network? That's what really excites us about all of these compliance issues now.
Very nice. So I think along those same lines, what do you see as the best first step that a company can take to become more secure?
I think it's a big, you got to know what you see. That's the Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Man can't hit what he can't see. And if we don't have the visibility into the network, into our devices, what are our end users doing? What applications are they using? What's going on in their email boxes? Is there shadow IT? If we don't have a good view into what's going on network wide, there's going to be blind spots. So that first and foremost, let's figure out what's going on. Let's get a good view of the health of the network, the health of our users, our devices, and then we can really set a game plan as far as okay, how do we lock this up now?
Absolutely. I have been talking in some of my other whiteboarding sessions and some of my other sessions with folks in the IT industry just about visibility and how much data is available to them that they're actually not, businesses are not capitalizing on that data because they don't really have an aggregation tool. They don't have a team to help them. So it sounds like you guys are focused a lot on solving that problem, which is really cool.
Yeah, and that's great. And getting someone like you in there to really help boots on the ground, let's get in front of folks like this. That's essential as well. You have to have a good, solid partner in there with you to help kind of start this journey and guide you along the way.
It is a long and treacherous journey, that is for sure. And I like that you use that terminology because I think a lot of people think, okay, we add a point product, we are secure. And that is not the story that we tell. And that is not where the future of InfoSec is going. So thank you for answering that question that way. I think it's interesting. What do you think will be the greatest challenge that businesses will face in the coming year?
I think it will be the hybridization of the workforce itself. I think we're going to have companies that will keep people working from home. I think there are going to be companies that bring people back into the office. And then on top of that, these companies will have customers that work hybrid as well. So this whole SASE model we have right now, the Secure Access Service Edge, we really have to redefine what does the edge look like. Is it my devices? Is it my physical infrastructure itself? Or is it my laptop at a customer site? It's we can't just look at our building and have a great firewall. We need to be able to protect ourselves and our customers at a much wider on that service edge now. So as folks start to come back into the office or move into this totally remote workforce, I think the challenge there and the opportunity really is to plant that flag and say, hey, this is what we're doing. We don't know what it's going to look like, but man, we're going to be safe while we do it.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a great story to tell, the businesses that we partner with, their customers, and that will increase trust and revenue because I think if the end user feels safe doing business with
Yeah.
our partners, the businesses here in Tennessee, I think that that's great for everyone. So that's really interesting. And I think it's very, insightful to think about how the workforce is changing. I know we're all talking about it, but that hybridization, I hadn't heard it termed that way. And it really
Mm.
is exactly that. So, with that, you mentioned that having people work from anywhere and then people coming back to the office. How do you feel like Cisco Security specifically meets customers where they are?
So with our collaboration platform and portfolio, the WebEx side has always been, we want to enable our customers to work anywhere on any time, anywhere, anytime on any device, which is great if we can enable you to do that. But at the same time, it's got to be secure when you're doing that, when you're dealing with personal information, when you're taking orders, when you're, logging all of these things in the healthcare space now, especially, we have to find what the pain points are and really figure out how do we meet the customer where they are? How do we simplify it too? I love our portfolio here because I feel like we do everything, but up until a little bit ago, it still felt kind of siloed. But now that we're finally starting to be an infrastructure-wide approach, kind of a one-stop shop here, which is what excites me.
That's so awesome. It's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time?
Yes. Yep.
There is reality to that. Okay, cool. So at the end of these conversations that I have, I like to ask kind of a fun or quirky type question. So for you today, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you if there was one product that you encourage customers to implement, that if there was one product that you could have had be invented earlier, what would that product be?
This is probably the easiest question you've asked me so far. It's we tell the story, and I just talked about Cisco's infrastructure kind of strategic approach to cybersecurity. For us, that's been the talk track for a couple of years now. We can protect you from the core all the way to the edge in this new service edge now, but it still felt kind of siloed. It was individual products and individual dashboards. So if I could go back, 7, 8 years ago when we started making acquisitions in this space, our new platform, Cisco Secure X, which is free, so it's not even something we can sell. I wish we would have had that a little earlier. It's a phenomenal aggregation point. It's that one-stop shop. I liken it to, it's the K cup of coffee brewing. Now, I'm a pour over guy, so I spend about 25 minutes making my coffee every morning. But man, there's something really convenient about just from a security perspective, being able to log onto one dashboard, see the health of all of your security products, and pull in third-party vendors as well. And then okay, this is where I need to start my day instead of, hey, what's the health of the firewall? What's going on the endpoints? Is there any funny DNS traffic that we need to be aware of? It's just one-stop shop, mission control, and then the day's just easier from then on.
We like easier. That's why I cannot get down with the pour over. I am a K cup gal all the way. So now that will forever be burned in my brain that Secure X equals K cup, and I will not
Yes.
forget that. Well, John, it was such a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you very much for answering all my wily questions.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Lissa. It's always great to talk to you. excited to see what comes next. Like you said,
Awesome.
what challenges are we going to face? And then it's what solutions are going to come from those challenges. And that's where we really like to play.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you all for tuning in to N-TECH-KNO with Lissa and Cisco Security. If you liked what you saw, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel, N-TECH-KNO with Lissa. Next week, we'll be back with info blocks. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye, guys.